Okay, welcome back. This is day 4 in mastering your mid-year review. And what we're going to do is reflect on the feedback conversation you had yesterday. So I don't want you to just absorb the feedback. That's not what this is about. This is about transforming that feedback into an action plan. And so reviews are not just about looking backward, they're about looking forward. So take what the notes that you took from yesterday's from your call with your manager and look through them and I want you to do some reflection. Pick two or three key pieces of feedback that you received that really stand out to you, that really resonate with you. Whether they're positive or they're challenging. And what I want you to do is just reflect on those and see what they actually mean to you. What kind of ideas do they spark for you? How do they feed into the next 6 months? You might want to just journal about this for a little bit and explore your thoughts there. But ideally, where you want to get to is, where do you want to grow in the second half? Based on this feedback, based on your self-assessment, based on reconciling the feedback you got plus your own self-assessment, where do you want to take this? That's the big question that you need to answer for the second half of the year. What I want you to do specifically is think about bold moves. So I want you to think about, what's a big change that you could make if one is necessary. That could be doubling down on something, really going all in on something that worked really well for you. Or it could be, creating a complete 180 on a particular area that wasn't working really well for you that you really need to improve on. So think about it in those terms. And then I want you to take one piece of the feedback that you've gotten, one of the things that you're going to, one of the three things that you decided on, and I want you to pick one and I want you to focus on it. And you're going to use that as an immediate step that you're going to take. And you're going to create three goals around that piece of feedback. And the three goals are as follows. So one, how can you perform better in this area? Really think about this. Think about, how can I take this and, use it to my advantage to perform better in this area? Again, it could be a challenge or it could be something that you're doing well on. So it could be doubling down or it could be changing course. Then I want you to think about how can you grow in this area? So, you have a level that you're at right now in this area, and what's the next level of growth? Think to that next level. What would it take to get you there? Right. And so that's the second goal that you want to achieve in this area. And then third, how can you make this visible? The key is always about, performing and making your performance visible to the people around you. That's how people get paid and promoted when you're working in a corporation. So visibility is a key aspect to this plan. So start thinking around these three key areas. So how do you perform better in this area? What's the next level of growth you want to achieve? And then how are you going to make that level of growth and that performance visible to the people that make decisions around your pay and your promotion, right? And those are the three things that you want to do around one piece of feedback. That's going to be your first commitment. And tomorrow we're going to talk about how to create a broader action plan and take the rest of the feedback and really create, a path forward for you for the second half. Because my goal for you is to crush the second half so that you perform better than you expected, better than your managers expected, and you get paid and promoted as fast and as much as possible. All right, see you here tomorrow for day 5.